Hello friends, how you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you so much for joining me. I have a finished flip through of this little journal I was working on. When was it? The other day I was working on it and we did the notebook rings together, and so yeah, it's done. So I just, you saw me add the notebook rings. There's 3 here, and I added a little bead dangle here to this notebook ring. It's removable. It's on a bulb pin. A really pretty one there, some glass beads, and a little lobster claw clasp on there too. So like I said the other day, you just turn these so that your hinge is toward the back here, and then you won't have any trouble opening this up and flipping your pages. This is the goodie bag. We'll go through that at the end. So here's the cover where we decorated. We did this together a little while ago, and then I put this project to the side and then came back to it just this week. I have sewn around here too, just for decoration really. It's not holding anything together. I just wanted to try it and it worked. So as we open up, this is the type of journal that lays flat, so real nice to, use as a journal, and you'll have your, nice flat space to, do whatever you want. There's a pocket here. It's a plastic pocket, like one of those see-through pockets that I've been using recently, and I've got a little card in here. This is a little piece of ephemera, like a card I made a while ago. I think this was a Tim Holtz piece, and it's just this pretty scrapbook paper, and you can write inside. So that is right in here, and I thought it matched really nice too to go inside this pocket. And I used clear pockets because I didn't want to cover up this pretty inside. That's how the inside of these books are. Really pretty. And this was the the contents page from this book. So as you flip over on the back of this page, and this page was, I think, was the copyright in here? Let me see. Yeah, it's right here on 1958. So it's an oldie. And so right here I've got 2 thank you cards that they're vintage thank you cards, and they're kind of old and a little dingy, but they're vintage and never used. So I put them right here as writing spots. So there's 2 of them here, like that. See that? Oh, I left it open behind. Let me see if I can grab something and show you. Here's a little Mickey Mouse tag I have over there in my stash of stuff I need to put away. But see, they're open behind. I didn't put anything there, but they are open behind in case you wanted to put something there. So this is a page. There's several pages from this book in, that I use for pages. So right here we have a little decoration, and it's actually a hinge. And so as you turn over, this is a little flip out. But this is a little book plate. It says, "I can't bear to be without my books. This book belongs to," and it's a little bear on there. So that is a little flip out there with a hinge. Yeah, I had lots of fun decorating and adding pockets to this. Graph paper here, a flip out of a map page. That's from an atlas. This is a journaling card that I put in here as a page. I added this little bird right here. I think he was from my gnome book. And this little bird right here is from my gnome book too. Decorated both sides of that with little birds. This is a playing card that I actually decided to back with a journaling card, and then I made it into a little pocket here. And this is a little tag that I made, and it can be written on the back. It's 2 layers of paper or scrapbook paper and file folder, and then I've got some decoration here, a little bit of vintage lace and some mushrooms. So super cute. A lot of vintagey things in here, or actually vintage, not just vintagey. This is a page from a cute little book. It might have been a Hallmark book. That's what it looks like. And then here's some lined paper, just from like a notebook. This was cool paper because it has lines on this side and it has a grid on this side. And then here's a pocket I made from 2 pages. This was a page from the gnome book. And then this is a page from, I think this might have been, let's see if I can tell from the inside. Yeah, I think this was from this. No, it's the wrong size unless I cut it down. Anyway, it's a book page. And so in here I have a journaling card. This is made with, the base is a time card, which is some collaging on it. And this pocket right here is sewn around And we have a little, this is a little piece I cut out from a greeting card. And I just thought it was really pretty with this hot air balloon. And kind of made it into a drilling card. And this is a page from a book, a vintage book. I'm trying to think of what book it was, but I don't remember. It looks like it might have been a Dr. Seuss book, but I'm not sure. And now over here, I made a pocket. There's a little bird. This was, okay, this was a piece from my gnome book. And I sewed across here some rickrack, as you can see, and it matches the little bird's wing there, or part of the bird. And then I sewed around there. I sewed it onto the book page. And then there's another time card journaling, or time card tag in here with some collaging, some sprays and things it looks like I did on there, maybe some blue. And then a playing card, large playing card. This is wrapping paper, vintage wrapping paper. This is a bridge score sheet here. And this also, I left this, this is a doily that's folded in half, and half it goes on the back, half is on the front. And I left the little top part open here. So you could tuck something in there if you wanted to. Also on both sides. This is coffee dye paper where I added some pretty trim, kind of like crochet trim. And I've got a safety pin here pinned on with a paper bead that I made. That's sewn onto that. That trim is sewn on there. This is some vintage, I believe this is vintage computer stationery. I love the retro flowers there, and then I sprayed on the back because it was white. I did a little spritz of, looks like blue food coloring spray that I have. Keep on hand on the back there. This is a vintage flashcard. A page from a book that I sewed on as a tab, a little, this is a Monopoly, community chest card here. It's a very old, grungy one, but yeah, that's cool. This is ledger paper where I sewed on this side a side tuck spot. And here's a drilling card that I had made. This was a vintage postcard that I liked the back of it, but I didn't like the front of it. So I kind of recovered it with some pieces there and made it into something that I liked better than what it was. And then this is sewn on here, and I put a piece of decorative vintage label that I had received with my Postal Love subscription. And then here's a little pocket here on that side tuck that is holding a little tiny tag here, so with the number 2 on it. Oh, it's got some doily on the back too. I forgot about that. But yeah, I made those a while ago, some little tags, and I keep those on hand. I have a bunch of little tiny tags. This is a little hard to get in here, but you just pick it up there and slide it in. Oh, this is where was this? I guess this was in the side tuck here. This is a little, I pick up bookmarks whenever I see them at thrift stores, and this is one of them. Everything You Can Dream, and then some. So yeah, it's just a vintage, it has Hallmark advertisement and Edward Jones on there. But yeah, it's a little bookmark that I had picked up. I wanted you to be able to see it there, but at a thrift store. This is a guest check that I sewed on here as a little tab, a little vintage milk cap. Another page from the Atlas. And here's the flip up that we worked on, making sure we didn't, when we put it in here, we made sure we didn't clip the, put a hole or try to put the hole, the notebook rings through here. And it worked out very well. So we did that correctly. And then here's another pocket that I sewed together. And this one is the one that has the book page from this book, and a piece of scrapbook paper, and I put a couple pieces in here. This is a picture from a Reader's Digest that I just backed with some cardstock, so you can have fun with that. And this is an envelope that I had made. There's a little piece of decorative piece here that I believe I received this particular piece in Happy Mail, and it was die cut, a little die cut oval. There's a vintage stamp here that I put on, or it might not even be vintage. It might just be a stamp that I cut out of mail and put my postmark on there. But this paper is like the spillover from, I think it's the spillover from my jelly printing. And so I saved it, and I believe that's what this says, and made an envelope. So yeah, I made an envelope that is, you can open up and use it as a writing spot. So that's just a fun way to use up some, whatever paper. You can do that with any paper that you have, right? So those were in this pocket here. And that's sewn together on the sides and the bottom. So that was a fun page. This is the book spine from, was it from this book? I don't think this one was from this book, but I saved all the spines from these books because I've done a few of these. It might have been from this book, but anyway, I saved all the spines and made them into these little bookmarks. So I had backed the spine with some file folder and sewed on this rickrack. So just a fun bookmark and a way to save the spine there. So this page is decorated with some scraps. This was a scrap here, this pink, it's actually embossed piece of cardstock. And then this is a little collage here that I think I may have received in Happy Mail. Here on this page I did a little, oh, this is an envelope. So I did a little collaging on this envelope and just used some scraps and this black and white picture. So I decorated this side, the front of the envelope. And this is the back where you have the flap that opens, and I added a little like a tab here, which is also a journaling card. So you could write on the back of that. And then you can decorate here. I left this blank for you to decorate or whoever gets this. And there's a, this is a flash card that I collaged on. And see, there you can see there was a flash card. You know how I like to leave it so you can see what it was. So that is a flash card, a vintage flash card. This is a page from a children's, I think this is from a children's magazine here. And then this is a lined page, lines front and back. This is a little file folder that I glued on here as a little kind of hidden journaling spot. This is a postcard, a vintage postcard, very mid-century modern, and there's some lace sewn on here. And then you can write on the back if you want. And here's this is a little tuck spot here that it was sewn together and then glued down, but I sewed a little pocket on it. And this is a little tiny tag that is in that pocket. So that was a fun little project. So on this page, this is a scrapbook paper page, and then I added, this is a journaling card that I added on here as a pocket. In that pocket, I have a calendar. This is a really pretty calendar. This is little vintage calendar. And I received this in Happy Mail. It has a magnet on it. And it's so pretty. I think I had, Sherry Smear sent me these, and she's with Studio 28E. And she sent me a few of these, and I think that's my last one, Sherry, but those were so beautiful, and I was kind of holding on to that one. And I found it recently in my stash. I said, I guess I'll go ahead and use it. But thank you, Sherry. Those were really pretty. And then I have a fabric butterfly here that I cut out of some piece of material and saved it. I have a few of these, but the other ones are smaller, and this is the biggest one I had, and I thought it looked pretty right here. It says spring right here too, and has a picture of like a lady in a garden. So I thought that butterfly looked real pretty on that page. And this page is from I think it was a garden journal, and it has lines on the front and back. Yeah, it says gardening objections for the year of. So yeah, it was from a garden journal. This is a little Rolodex card here, a blue one. It's a 3x5. And this looks like it's a page from this book. A flashcard, a word flashcard. Here I put some fabric scraps that I like to cut some of my fabric scraps into these squares. And use my pinking shears on the edges. So that's what these are from that little bag of squares and things that I have, and put those right there as a little decoration. So that's scrapbook paper. This is a page that I made from my 1940s yearbook, where I have, I think I copied it. I copied the autograph page and made some pages for my journals, and it's just it looks like it's original because I color copied it, and I just love that. So I didn't want to get rid of the original. And I think that's the only copy I have in here of anything. Everything else is original. This is cardstock cardstocky craft cards, craft colored. And I added this little piece. I had this in my scraps, and it looks, and I pulled it out for something else, and I just said, let me see if I can use it. And I used it right there because it looks so pretty on this. These two colors look so pretty together. There's a little trim there. This is scrapbook paper that I spritzed green on the back. This is one of my new pink guest checks. So I put one of those in there as a page. And this is, well, it's ledger paper. And I folded over and made like a hinge there of one of my pages from my gnome book, because it's so pretty. It had this mushroom and it had this like green splatter here, and I just thought it was so pretty. I decided to put it there and add it to this page as a fold out. So it's hinged around on this side. This is a page from another book. Bingo card, that's double-sided. Grid paper here, or graph paper. Another one of those pages from probably the little book that I thought was probably a Hallmark book. Scrapbook paper that has been spritzed with green or blue. I think that's blue. This is some paper that I have. This is a CD envelope, so I put it down here as a pocket, and I left it open in the back, so it's actually got two pockets. So I don't need to take both of these out, but this pocket is in the, I think I have this in the back, don't I? If I don't, that is open in the back. Let me see. Isn't it? Isn't this? Oh, this was not open in the back. Sorry. Okay. I don't think it's open in the back. So anyway, both those, well, then I can show it to you. Okay, I'm confused. But this is a craft colored envelope with a pretty decoration on the front there. And then, so you can use that envelope for something. And this is a collage time card that has been made into a journaling card. And then we have, this is the paper bag. When I was working on, I guess I was working on, I don't know, I was working on something. And I pulled out this paper bag, and there was a journaling card stuck to it. So it was just a little spot of glue up here. It was like this. And I accidentally kind of must have got some glue on the bag or the journaling card, and they were stuck together. So I cut off that top part of the bag like this. You can see, here's the little flap here, this right here. And cut off the part with the glue on it. And I think, was this the journaling card? That one that I just showed you? I don't know. I was able to use the journaling card because I glued it down, and it had a little spot of glue on the one side where it took a piece of the paper off, but I glued it down so you didn't see that messed up side, and I was still able to use it. And so the same with this paper bag. I cut the top off where the glue kind of tore a little piece of this, not even all, didn't even make a hole through it, just tore or left a piece of paper on there. It was like, it wasn't perfect. So I didn't want to, use it for the goodie bag. So I just cut it off, made this little, notch here, and turned it into a little pocket here. So it does open up all the way like a bag, like a little paper bag. I thought that was fun. These are two collaged, these are collaged with tissue paper, like tags or journaling cards. I have those in there in the bag. And then you have, I put a little, this is like a little ID card right here. I put that there as a decoration, but you can actually use this part as a tuck spot too if you want to. So that was a fun little way to figure out how to use that paper bag that was messed up on the top. And that is glued down to another piece of, let's see, oh, that was a book page from this book. Then I have, this is a bridge score sheet, atlas page here, ledger, and this is wallpaper. I did put some trim here that is blue lace that's sewn on with a bold pin, and I have a little elephant charm on there. It's a little tiny silver elephant right there. And then this is a ledger page from a very old ledger book that I have. Coffee dyed paper. This is a Turquoise score sheet. And here, to go along with that little elephant charm, I put a little elephant paper clip here that I had. And this is another page from that garden journal. This is the winter page. And then this is some scrapbook paper. Or this might be computer paper, actually. And then I spritzed on the back again. This is a piece of paper that's, you know, yellowish gold color, as you can see. And then I have a bridge score, not bridge score, a bridge tally card here that you can write. You can always write inside of those or do whatever you want. A page from a vintage children's book here. And this is some of that retro computer stationery. A large postcard. Lots of pages in here, aren't there? Scrapbook paper, that ledger paper. This is just random cardstocky kind of chart paper that I have. And this is another computer stationery that I have. And it's been spreads like that. It was definitely Greene. So this is a little pocket I put here. I had a pink guest check that I also did something to it where I messed up the side of it. And so I cut the messed up side off, a little strip here. I just got those. I don't know what I did. I don't remember what I did to it, but I did something wrong to it. And so I cut it off and made a little tuck spot here. I did a little collaging right there and put two pieces from my stash ephemera. This is, they're both, well, this is a journaling card. This piece right here in the background is from a very old, like 1970s, I think it was, newspaper. I add from a 1970s newspaper, and then I just, you know, collaged on it and made it into a journaling card. And this picture is cut out from a basic reader. There it says right there. I was going to say Reader's Digest because I cut out a bunch of Reader's Digest, but this one's Basic Reader Book 6. So there you go. It's not a copy or anything. It's from the book. And then we're at the back where in here I put there's a little notch right here. You can pull out this. This is actually cut out from a piece of scrapbook paper. It was a little window that was on that scrapbook paper. So I made it into a little like drilling card. And so let me show you the back. Here's the back. You know, you've got this fabric on the front and the back and the little flowers. And I wanted to show you the side view here with the lace and the trim here, the little charms hanging and things like that. So it turned out super cute. And then the little, what I have in the goodie bag so far, let me see what I put in here. I try to put as much as, you know, I could at the moment, but I'm always like tweaking my goodie bags. But I put quite a few little things in here the other day when I was finishing this up. I think that's everything. So yeah, I got a bunch of little goodies in here, kind of small stuff that you can just put wherever. This says this book belongs to. This is a little calendar, a little piece of that lace that I used in there as the trim inside. This is just a little journaling spot that I made. I'll just flip through these real quick. This is a little journaling spot that you can decorate, but I folded this and cut it to, you know, rounded the corners and made it into a little journaling spot. And you can stamp on here or, you know, whatever anybody might want to do. A little piece of orange rickrack. This is what I had on that one pocket with the bird. Some of that. Journaling card here. Little pieces that can be used to decorate. This is a vintage card, you know, library card, catalog card, a Rolodex card that I made from scrapbook or cardstock, a vintage Monopoly money, some little pieces, game card. This is a teeny tiny tag. Believe it or not, this is cut out with my Cricut. And this is just a little piece from an envelope that I made. It had these lines on it, and I thought it made a good writing spot, so I cut that out. Now there's some little pieces that I had that I was using as I was working on this journal. So I just, you know, instead of throwing them back in my scrap box, I put them in here so someone can have fun. They're really kind of cool pieces. And like this is from a flower book or something like that. There's music. There's some, this is actually I don't know if this is a copy or an original, but there's like handwritten recipe on here, part of one, because it's, you know, just a cutout piece. Here's another piece of that recipe. And then, yeah, there's several pieces of that recipe here. So I just thought that handwriting was so cool that, you know, I was trying to use these when I was making the journal. I just didn't get to use them all up. So I thought, well, I'll just stick some in here for somebody to have fun with. There's a bunch of them in here. There's some ledger, more music, different types of music. These are coffee dyed. These two are coffee dyed. This one looks like it might be avocado dyed. And then I love using these little pieces of, they're pieces of index cards. So there's like a blue one, a solid white one. But these are all, well, this is probably from the solid white one's probably from a thrift shop. The rest of them are, you know, I bought new. The blue, the graph grid, green, yellow, and there's two different kinds of blues or colors of blues in here. So that's fun. So that's what I have in there so far. You never know what I might pick up and stick in there, but anyway, at least those things will be in there to have fun with. And then you have the bag too, that you can do whatever you want with. You know, I made a pocket out of one, so you can do lots of things with paper bags. You can make a little journal out of this, you know, fold it in half and make a little cover. So, yep, that is it. Hope you enjoyed. This was a lot of fun. This was one of my unfinished projects that is now done. So it's nice to get that done. And when you see this video, it will be in my shop. So thank you so much for watching. And I'm so glad you joined me today. And if you haven't subscribed, just hit that subscribe and the little bell, and you'll be notified of my next videos. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel and all future subscribers. So thank you so much, guys. You know, this is so fun, and I really appreciate you watching. So I will see you all next time. Have a great day.